Hello, and in this video we're going to look at the essential guide to real estate investing. All the tips and all the professional knowledge from around the world that help you become a better real estate investor, and learning from people that have been successful at doing it. So let's get to the video and have a look. Hello, in this real estate investment guide, let's start by explaining there's in essence two types of investors. There's the investor that wants to make money, and then there's the investor that wants to keep money. I think the majority of you watching this video are more likely to be the investor at the start of the process that wants to make money. So I'll start by a little anecdote story that I was a very young teenager. There was a party at the house, and there's a good friend of the family there, and the guy went up to the friend of the family and said, what do you do for a living? He said, I'm in property. Oh, he said, yeah, I sold one of my houses last week. And the friend of the family, turned around and said, funny enough, I've always managed to hold on to mine. And in essence, that's the number one rule about real estate investing: patience and hold on to your assets. If it's a good asset to buy at the beginning, it's a good asset to hold. The second rule about investing, and this is all investing, but especially in real estate, is you want to be holding your assets for at least 5 years. And this is a really, really good reason to exit. In essence, anything under 5 years is not really an investment as such. It's more like speculation. So I'll give you an example. Maybe you buy a piece of land and you flip it. Basically, you buy a piece of land, hold it for 3 months, you buy it for 100,000, you sell it for 200,000, you've made it, you pay your capital gains tax. And that is what I would call a speculation. But what we're talking about with real estate here is real estate investing. And we're talking about holding assets for the medium to long term. So another famous person is Richard Kiyosaki. He wrote the famous book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And he tells the story about his first condo that he bought that started him off in Hawaii, and how it was a struggle in the first couple of years, and then things got easier after that. In essence, when you buy your first investment, especially if you're an investor starting out, you're probably going to be using finance. So you're trying to basically cover the mortgage from the rent from your tenant. And then over time, what happens is the rent goes up. So you start to make some money between what you're paying in finance and what you're receiving in income, and the value of your property goes up. And then over time, you acquire more and more. And it's a really simple process. The only problem you can have sometimes is when you have the banking cycles, the financial cycles change. So we're talking about the UK in 2023. We're in a situation where the bank rates have gone up considerably higher than they were in 2022. Now, if you're an American watching this video, it's much less of a problem for you, because right now in America, you can fix your rate anywhere between 5 and 30 years. So you know what your cost of borrowing is. So it's much easier to manage. So if you like, it's probably much easier to be an investor in the United States than it is in the United Kingdom. Okay. That's it. In essence, that's the basic thing about investing. Then when you're investing, you then have to look at the tax structures in the country where you are and how best to buy that asset, right? So another one of my watchword is basically how you buy an asset is much more important than what you pay for it. So a simple thing is, if you were to buy a real estate asset in the UK, my advice would always be to buy it for a private limited company. There may be the odd exception, but generally that is the way to do it. And each asset, you should probably have an individual private limited company to buy each asset. Now, if you're in Spain, for example, the advice would probably be to buy it in your own name. And it will differ from country to country as to where you're investing and everything else. The other thing about, if we take the UK, the other benefit about buying through a company is that you have 100% write-off against tax for the interest payments. Whereas if you buy it in your own name, there's only a limited amount of tax you can claim back, etc., etc. So yeah, that in a nutshell, that is the quick guide to real estate investing. You then get into other areas such as what sort of investment should I get into, and that comes to low risk, high risk. So, for example, if you want to create a high yield, you might want to buy 100 units in South Shields because the return is going to be much higher, but it's going to be a lot more hard work and need a lot more management, but you're going to make more money. Or you might just want to buy a 1 or 2 bedroom buy-to-let unit in central London, where the yield is going to be a lot less, but maybe the property price appreciates more, and it's easy to let. It's basically a safe and passive investment. And I guess before I finish, that's the final thing to think about about real estate investing. What you're trying to do is create passive investment, i.e., making money while you sleep, right? And real estate is one of the best ways to do that, because basically, once you have the system set up, once you have a tenant paying the rent and is properly managed, and if you pay a management company, you basically go to sleep. You make sure you pay your finance, and you get, over time, you get a net return. And then over time, the value of property, as we all know, very rarely goes down. But what you do know about most assets over a 5-year period, generally the asset's going to be worth more than you paid for it, which is, a very, very important factor. Okay, I'm sure there's I'm going to do many more videos on specific subjects within real estate investing, but this was sort of a quick guide to real estate investing. And the number one thing I can preach from this video is patience. Now, if you like the video, please could you hit the like button and subscribe to the video channel, and also hit the notification bell. The notification bell allows you to get more content from us as we do a video every day. Not every video you're going to like, but some videos will be like this. So if you enjoyed the content of this video, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell.
Thanks for watching the video, and please feel free to connect with me on my personal website, nickstewart.co. Really looking forward to hearing from you. Bye for now.